Hey, what's up everybody? John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, I'm going to take this pile of junk behind me and turn it into a beautiful maple syrup evaporator. So, here we are. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about making maple syrup because we have all these maple trees here. But it was looking to be a little bit difficult because getting all of the stuff to make maple syrup is super expensive. I mean, even just getting these pans, these are like 30 bucks at least. So anyway, and that's not counting, you know, the taps themselves, buckets, storage, you know, lines, whatever you're going to use. It seemed like a really expensive hobby, but so far we're doing really well with coming up with free alternatives. So our friends Lily and George just moved into a new house. Congrats, guys. And they are doing a ton of remodeling work on it, and they are getting rid of their old furnace. And so this is the old something boiler something, but it is like the perfect size for a little maple syrup evaporator. And so they also had, you know, some of this venting on top. This right here is the metal pallet that my landscape rake came in on. So I'm going to use this. This is perfect. And then this pipe, which is a stove pipe, came from our garage. It was just hiding behind the furnace. So I think I'm sort of doing this off the cuff. I can tell you right now, one of the first things I'm going to do is level this out, because they basically were deconstructing this thing. So I believe they probably sawzalled that thing in half to pull it out of a basement. So I'm going to take my angle grinder and I'm going to make a nice straight line all the way around so we get it nice and level. Step one, let's go. And start cutting. All right, now we got that cut off. It's still a little rough, but maybe I'll get like a little abrasive wheel or just some sandpaper and just clean off some of the you know what, I have a file somewhere. That's what I'll use. So I'll just file the edge just so it's smooth. I don't want to have any like crazy sharp edges, but it's much more flat now. It's probably hard to even notice. But before there was some big waves from when they cut it. So this way it's just flatter so the trays can sit in there better. All right, so next, I think I'm gonna start taking this apart. So I'm gonna use that angle iron to set up the trays. So set up little tray holders so that the trays can sit on top where the fire is going to be down below. Let's get going. All right, so now you can see this just gives you know, some real strength there. So I'll heat this edge up. I think I'm gonna borrow Rob's torch and then just bend this over and then screw it right in there. So now what I'd like to do is have this whole top area covered. And so, you know, it's not gonna be enough to just have one more pan there because there's still gonna be all this space. And so there's gonna be heat shooting out of all of here. So what I wanna do is I wanna take this sheet metal here and make it so that this tray, it's sort of hard to see, but so this tray sort of floats in the middle and then there's sheet metal all the way around, so that way no heat is escaping and it's all just boiling the water or the sap. I'm really happy with how this is coming together. You know, I was a little unsure when we picked it up, but I think this is gonna be great. We're gonna have, you know, that's where we feed our fire, right in there. Gonna have the chimney coming out the other end. I think this is gonna be fantastic. It's already got legs. It fits perfectly on a pallet, so we'll be able to move it. Love that. And yeah, it's really all coming together. I am very excited. All right, so this is our final result for bending this. I wasn't able to do it with heat, but so I just cut a little score in here and then just hammered it over on a 2x4. I'll show you. Just like that. So next part is going to be the stovepipe. The actual chimney is going to come out of this end here. So I have this piece, which looks to be about 6 inches, and the hole is about the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut right here so that I can kind of bend this together and then get it in there, and then I'll probably just take some of that angle iron and secure it more better. But for right now, this should do just fine. All right, so we are coming right along here. Obviously, it's not looking like, you know, super finished right now. But mainly I wanted to get last night, like all these extra pieces in there, because you want to keep the heat loss to a minimum, and also this way, with all that wood burning in there, there's less chance of ash coming up and ending up in the syrup. So this is coming, it's looking really good. I mean, it doesn't look, you know, finished yet, but coming right along. So I'm gonna do a couple things right now. So this is gonna be the door. So you can see, this is like from whatever piece of equipment this was. So it has a little opening that I can put the wood in there. So I'm gonna cut, originally I was just gonna stick it on the front here, but I'm gonna cut this off so that that can just sit flush. I got some bolts, I got new drill bits, and then I'm also gonna fashion some kind of a better holder for this rather than just this wire. I don't like how it looks, and I think we can just do a better job. Then I'm also gonna try to stick a bolt up underneath this to hold this in, because right now, you know, the wire is preventing it from going backwards, but nothing's preventing it from going forwards. I just wanna get it a little more secure. So just got a little bit more work to go. Let's get to it. we are done. We are complete. So you can see I made some, took apart some of the old vent, and so I used that to secure the stovepipe, and so now it's much more secure. And so I have something on the bottom, and as you can see, something on the sides. I also added some bolts to these to make sure that's nice and strong, so everything looks great. I got the front plate on, which I'm really excited about how this looks. I think it's gonna be a little tough to lift this up. We'll definitely need a mitt, but this is the perfect size for firewood. I already tested it out and they fit in great. And I'm gonna cut off a piece of metal to use as like a poker that I can stick. So, you know, I put a piece of wood in there and I can move it towards the back. I'm really excited for this. I'm even more excited to get it painted. So let's get going. Looks like a real thing now. Check that out, man. It's getting some drips on it, but that's all right. Tool, not a jewel. But I think it's looking pretty good. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you're thinking. As always, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.